Hey guys, Matt Hoagland here. Hey, I was asked a question the other day and I wanted to share it with you. And the question was, how do I compete with cheaper photographers? And so the sub question of it is like, how do I stand out or convince potential clients to go with me and not a cheaper photographer? And so this is something Alice and I have dealt with for years and years in our market. And here's some of the techniques that we have used in the past to compete with cheaper photographers. So the first thing you want to do is identify how you can differentiate yourself from those cheaper photographers. So sometimes we have to do that by offering different products than they're offering. Sometimes we can differentiate ourselves from a cheaper photographer just by offering better service. And then sometimes we literally just outspend photographers, cheaper photographers, because they're so cheap that they can't afford to do the marketing that we can do. And so we can just outspend them and just keep market share until they just decide they can't compete with us anymore. And then they typically just go away. Let me go into each one of those in a little bit more depth so I can explain exactly what I mean, and hopefully this helps you a lot. So with some of the photographers in town that we've competed with that are cheaper than us, we just had to offer different products. So if you're just offering a USB full of images and your competitor's offering a USB full of images, typically the client is going to go with the cheaper person because it's like buying two apples, right? If there's no difference between the apple, why wouldn't you buy the cheaper apple? And so what you need to do is figure out how to differentiate yourself. So most cheap photographers don't offer printed products. So just by offering printed products, whether it's just printed prints, it's albums, it's stuff for the wall, it's boxes, any of that stuff that you can offer will differentiate you and really make a huge difference with you to the client. So Alice and I go to conferences every single year, and the number one reason we go to conferences is not to listen to the speakers on stage, but we comb the expo with all the new products. So every year we try to offer 3 to 4 new products. Some of them we're just testing and they don't ever make it, because nobody orders them, and other times, they really take off and are huge. So, for example, one thing that we did a couple years ago is that we offered albums to all of our clients, as well as some of our competitors did. So we went and looked for a better album. So we went and found that Miller's had started offering their signature albums, which was way better than what we were currently using. And we started offering that. So we had a premium album to offer our clients, and it just differentiated us and helped us stand out against our competition. The other thing that we've done over the years is we've specialized in wall art. So when you come into our studio, you see these huge clusters of metals and canvases and different things hanging on the wall, and that helps us specialize and let people know that this is what we do. Is we do wall art, and we're a one-stop shop. So when you come to us, you purchase these things for your home, you decorate your home with them, and this is what you do, which is totally different than the cheaper photographer that's just offering a USB full of images. So that's something that you can do, is just specialize in wall art. And I have a class all about how to build that and how to start selling wall clusters and wall art, and I'll link it below. But the whole concept of this is that you just need to differentiate your product differently than them. You just can't compete doing the exact same thing. So offer something different that they can't offer, typically because they're so cheap that they can't even order samples of albums, or they can't even justify spending $250 to order an album from somebody. But if you're charging $1,000 for it, it's awesome. The other thing that's really important here is from the customer standpoint. When you sell a USB to them, and they have to go do additional work with those images, right? They still have to go to Walgreens or Walmart or go online to order prints. And it's just more work that they don't necessarily understand how to do. And that's not a full, complete service. And so make sure that you're offering them a one-stop shop. It's like, well, when you come to us and you order your pictures, when you pick them up, you're completely done. For example, you could hang the wall art for them, so they don't even have to go home and hang the wall art. You help them do that as well. So there's lots of things that you can do to offer different products. And some of those things lead into the next thing. With some of our competition, we just have to offer a better service. So we offer hanging their prints in their house and, things like that. But the two main ones that really have made a big difference with us and our competition is faster turnaround times. So that's another reason why we use Miller's, is because they do overnight shipping to us. So that shaves off lots of time, and we can turn around their product much, much faster than our competition. And then the other one that has really helped us a lot, especially when we first got to our market, is that we called people back right away. So we said we're going to call everybody back within 1 day, and now we try to call everybody back within 4 hours. And it was huge, because one of the complaints that we heard when we first got here is that, I called a bunch of photographers and I haven't heard back from any of them yet. It was taking photographers like 3 days to call somebody back, which is just like, to me, crazy. So we said we're going to call everybody back in a day. and we made it a goal, and we did that. And what's amazing is we typically were the first person to call them back, and so therefore we got the booking. So if you're struggling, just make sure that you're calling people back as fast as possible. A few other things that we did to offer better service: we offered better retouching one year. We actually hired somebody as on staff to come in and do all of our retouching so that we could offer head swaps and different, things, stray hair removal. We could offer all these different things, where a lot of the cheaper photographers were just doing a global edit in Lightroom, burning it to a USB and being done. And so it allowed us to offer additional services that they couldn't get anywhere else and differentiated us. We also offered late night pickups. So there's a couple nights a week that we stay at our studio till 8 o'clock, so that when people get off work at 5, they have a couple hours to come get their products from us. And so think about doing that. You don't have to do it 5 nights a week or 6 nights a week. You can just do it a couple nights a week. Maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays you stay late and you allow people to pick up stuff after work, which was really good service. The other thing that's kind of subtle is you can also offer an intern program for like middle schoolers or high school kids or college kids, and that helps you connect with the community. It also helps you influence the intern's circle of influence. And so if you're trying to photograph high school seniors, having a high school senior intern helps a lot, because then they help advocate for your business. And that's just a service that you can offer to the community, but then also helps you grow your business. So those are some ideas. So sometimes you just have to offer better service than your competitors. And then the last one, this is kind of a slippery slope, but we've done it before, is sometimes you just have to outspend a cheap photographer. So if a cheap photographer just they're doing it super cheap and they just don't have a lot of money for advertising, just make sure that you're running ads, you're being seen all the time. And a lot of times you can get in their head where if the competitor is seeing your ads all the time as well, they're just like, man, I just can't compete with these guys. They're just everywhere all the time. And so by outspending them with advertisements and marketing, sometimes that works as well. The other thing you can do is you can actually do sessions that are over the top, right? So like if you're doing high school seniors, you can do destination sessions with them. You can travel to, like with our high school seniors, we travel to Moab and to the sand dunes every year. And then those pictures are amazing and they get spread around because they're very unique. And so people share them all the time. With your brides, you could also do day after sessions where you offer, like the day after their wedding, you can offer to go to, maybe out to the desert, or you can go into the city or something like that and offer really cool, unique pictures of just the bride and groom. So there's just things like that, sessions like that you can do that are over the top, that'll be special, that'll resonate with your marketing more and resonate with your clients more, and just do things like that. So sometimes you can just outspend cheaper photographers. So those are kind of my tips of what we've done in the years past. Hopefully that helps you. I'll link below. You'll see some additional questions below, as well as some links to like my wall cluster class and some things like that hopefully can help you. But hopefully that helps, guys. Talk to you soon.